You see a girl that you like, you want to go and say hi to her, but even when you approach her, you don't know how to follow up, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. And that's a bummer because this happens to you all the time and you let those opportunities go away all the time. And even in the rare cases that you muster the courage to go up to them and to say hi to those pretty girls, well, you freeze, you don't know what to say, and it becomes very quickly very awkward. Now imagine a reality in which it's easy for you to go up to girls that you find attractive because you know how to start a conversation with them, you know what to say, you know how to engage them, how to add topics to the conversation, and you know how to basically make girls want to enter in a conversation with you and stay in that conversation. Imagine how many more dates you would get if you are able to do this consistently. A lot. Well, you're in luck because I'm going to explain to you today exactly how to do that, how to make conversations with strangers in a very simple, structured way. So to make things extremely simple, there are only 3 things that you will do when you want to make a conversation with a girl or for anyone for that matter, because you will see very quickly that the conversations that you have with girls that you like who are still complete strangers are exactly the same kind of conversations that you would have with anyone, except that you will have to add some flirt because girls, well, you want to flirt with them. If you're talking with a dude, you're gonna do the same thing, but you're just not going to flirt with him. But point is, making conversation with someone is very simple once you understand how to do it. And today, to understand how to do it, we are going to get very nerdy about it, but in the end, you will have a complete understanding of how to make a conversation with anyone. So 3 things we do in a conversation. Make sure to watch the video until the end because you need those 3 things together to make a conversation. You will see it's kind of a cycle. You're going to cycle between those 3 things. So make sure you don't miss any or else your conversations are going to be super awkward. So first, you need to add a conversation topic. This is what people who do pickup, this is what people who game girls call a stack. If you're familiar with things like the London day game model, this is what you do at the beginning of a conversation to engage the girl in the conversation. You're going to stack conversation topics. In very simple terms, a stack is an attempt at engaging the girl in the conversation. We're going to talk more about that later, but this attempt is either going to be successful or unsuccessful. It's not because your attempt at throwing a conversational topic out there is not successful that the girl is not interested. If she's not really reactive to you trying to engage the conversation, but she stays there, it's on. Of course, if she goes away or if she tells you that she's not interested, as soon as she tells you, no, I'm not interested, or no, I have to go, no, I don't want to talk with you, let her go, wish her a good day. But don't make the mistake of thinking that a neutral answer is a negative. So you have multiple ways to do this. The easiest one is to make her talk about herself. This is extremely simple because every single person on this planet loves nothing else more than themselves. We are all selfish in some way. And so what's your favorite conversation topic? Chances are that your favorite conversation topic is yourself. So if you make a girl talk about herself, you have the highest chances that she's going to be willing to engage in such a conversation because you are making her talk about her favorite topic. So the way you do this is either by asking a direct question or making a comment, like a statement, like for example, you must be a lawyer. See, there are 2 ways to go about it. Either you ask her, oh, are you a lawyer? Or you must be a lawyer. And statements are usually a bit more masculine and proactive, and they make you appear a little bit more confident. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. The point is, you keep the conversation going and you try to engage her in the conversation. Statements simply work very well because girls will tend to want to correct you if you make a wrong assumption. When you make a wrong assumption, you're kind of baiting them into furthering the conversation. Again, keep in mind that if she doesn't like you, she's not gonna fall for the bait. And here we are simply trying to make it simple for her to further the conversation with you if she's open to it. What you could do also to stack conversation topics is to talk about a topic that's interesting to her, but it's a little bit harder to do and a little bit more random because if she's a stranger, you don't know what she finds interesting, and so you can try to talk about random topics that she might have an interest for. For example, if she looks like an artist, you can try to talk about art, but it's not 100% sure that she's going to be into that topic. So again, it's just safer to make her talk about herself, especially at the beginning of the conversation. So usually you do a stack first, you engage her in the conversation first, And right after, you continue by sharing a story of yourself that's going to display that you possess attractive masculine qualities. There, the goal is to demonstrate that you have high value, that you are interesting, that you're cool, that you do things in your life that she might find an interest in. Once you're done with your story that ideally shows why you are interesting to women, you're going to tie it back again to her by adding another stack, by adding another conversation topic. And here maybe you start to see how this is a circle that's looping on itself. You add a conversation topic to the conversation, then you add a story that shows why you are interesting or that gives value, and then you add another conversation topic, and then you add another story, so on and so forth. And this is how you, as the man, you are going to lead the conversation. You're going to make it easy for her to reply to what you say, and you are going to engage her more and more in the conversation to make her more and more at ease and to have her more and more attracted to you through the stories that you share. Now, if you just share stories and if you just make conversation, your conversations are going to be super fucking boring and girls won't like it. Remember, girls are not logical, girls are emotional. Whenever you feel the conversation is flatlining a little bit, there are not too many emotions in the conversation, it's very dry and logical, you have to add emotional spikes. That's the third thing that you need in your conversations. You need to spike her emotions sometimes so that she forgets where she's going, she forgets what she's doing, she forgets that she has a boyfriend, a husband, babies, a family, whatever. You spike her emotions to try and gather all of her attention and her emotions on you, to engage her even more in the conversation so that she pays more attention to the fact that she's getting to know you, to the fact that she's getting more comfortable with you, and to the fact that you are sharing why you are interesting. Another way to put it, the fact that you're spiking a girl's emotion is what's going to get her to engaged and stay on track in the conversation. This is the pattern interrupt that's going to have her focused on you and the interaction. So spiking a girl's emotions is a little bit of a wild card. You don't have to always do it, but again, whenever you feel the conversation is getting a little bit boring, you throw a joke, you throw a tease, and then you go back to stacking and sharing stories. And then you rinse and you repeat. The more you do this, the more she's going to get to know you. So she's going to feel more comfortable around you. She's going to feel like she trusts you more. She's going to feel like she likes you more as a person, as a human being. She's going to feel that she relates to you a little bit more. And also through the stories that you share, she will see that you are actually a cool guy who does interesting things. Now, like I told you earlier, maybe she's not going to open up as soon as you're done with your first conversation topic and your first story. And so your goal is to just repeat this cycle of stack, story that shows why you're interesting, and sometimes emotional spikes, until she eventually opens up. Eventually, if she likes you, she's gonna open up and she's gonna start asking you questions. This is when you reach the hook point, and this is very, very good because it's a clear sign that she wants to talk to you more. She wants to know you more. The more you do it well, the more interested in you she's going to become. And so the more of the conversation she's going to do. This is exactly how you get girls to chase you. At the beginning of the conversation, you're going to be the one making, let's say, 80% of the conversation. The more you do it, the less you will talk, the less space you will take in the conversation, and the more space she will take in the conversation because she will want to get to know you more and more. In a sense, girls' interest is gradual in a sense. It's not either on or off. It might be sometimes. If she really likes you, she's really lonely, or she's really horny, it might be. But most of your interactions, it's going to be you being attractive and interesting in front of a girl for some time until she warms up to the point she starts chasing you. And so that's why most guys can't get girls to chase them, because most guys, either they freak out very early in the conversation before the girl is hooked, or guys leave interactions before the girl is hooked, or like they stop talking. And once she starts investing in the conversation, again, it's pretty much game on autopilot. She's going to be the one asking you the questions. She's going to be the one making the conversation. She's going to be the one doing things so that you don't leave her and leave the conversation. So that's extremely good to be able to position yourself, well, in this position in the conversation when you have hot girls chasing you because you warmed them up properly. Now I want to talk about mistakes that guys make all the time when they are in a conversation with girls that kill all their chances. So if you're talking about yourself too much, you are not engaging the girl in the conversation. If she doesn't know you, she doesn't give a shit about you. I used to work with a guy, for example, that before I started working with him, he would go up to girls on the street and he would start the conversation by telling them about his day. They don't give a shit. They don't know him. Unless they are what we call a yes girl, that is to say she's into the guy by the time the guy shows up because she likes the way he looks, which by the way, happens extremely rarely, even when you're attractive looking as a guy. Well, besides those situations, if you start the conversation by talking about yourself, girls are not gonna give a shit, they are gonna go away. Other mistake that guys do, they wait for the girl to do the stacking by herself. So this is a mistake I used to make for years. I would go up to a girl, I would throw in a first conversation topic, and then I would wait, and if she would not be the one adding the second conversation topic, I would assume that she was not interested and I would go away. No, this is not how it works. Remember, girls' interest is gradual. You have to warm them up. I would say try to stack conversation topics for 2 to 3 minutes. And if after 3 minutes she's still giving you one-word answers, she's not investing in the conversation, okay, it's fair game to let her go because it's fair to assume that she's not interested. Another mistake guys do very often, they don't give space so that the girl can invest between the stacks. So if you keep adding conversation topics all the time, well, if you don't give her space to reply to you, she's not gonna be able to invest in the conversation. And basically, you're not gonna get girls to chase you if you don't give them the time to reply something and to get to know you and to actually chase you. That happens often with guys who, for example, are quite nervous. And because they are nervous, to take the pressure off, those guys will just keep talking and talking and talking, kind of to drown the pressure of the interaction. But no. I understand it's a little bit intimidating sometimes to go up to a girl that you find attractive, but you have to be comfortable with holding pauses between your sentences for like 2 to 3 seconds. Another mistake I did all the time when I was starting out for like a year or so, I was focusing only on the emotional spikes. And this is what you will see very often with guys who only meet girls at night. It's guys who are not too comfortable making regular small talk conversation because they are used to talk to people when they are fucking drunk. So they are used to being loud, they are used to focus on strong emotions. But besides that, their game is pretty much lacking of anything else. And so if the only thing you can do is spike a girl's emotion, you're never going to really engage her on a personal level in an interaction, and you're never going to be able to build any kind of intimacy. Like, you're going to make girls laugh a lot. They are going to look at you as this sort of super interesting entertainer, but they are not going to look at you as a potential sexual prospect. Teases and jokes and all this bullshit, that used to be a huge sticking point of mine. You can't make conversations just like that. It's easy to fall into this mindset of, oh, girls react well to what I do, so they must like me because they are laughing a lot, they are talking to me all the time. But actually, you're just being a dancing monkey and girls don't really like you. You need to do those 3 things together to get girls to actually like you, trust you, and want to spend more time with you, want to open up to you, and eventually let you escalate the sexuality of your interaction with them. But don't worry about it. All those mistakes, I made them. And that's kind of the point. You have to notice the mistakes that you do, and you have to take them out of your behavior, one after the other. Once you take out of your behavior all the mistakes that you make, well, you're just left with good game, good conversations that make it smooth for you to get girls to chase you and to get a ton of dates and a ton of sex. Personally, it took me years to figure out why what I was doing was not working and to fine-tune everything in my communication. And I still have a lot of things to learn. But at the end of the day, if you're thorough with your communication and you understand what you're doing and the way it comes across to the girls in front of you, you're gonna get great results. So by the way, if you already have your life situation handled in every other area and you find it hard to deal with this dating thing by yourself, consider getting coached by me to solve this once and for all. You can book a free consultation call with me. I will put the link below this video. But yeah, at the end of the day, you need to get girls to open up, and you do that by stacking conversation topics, then showing them why you're attractive, And every once in a while, you're going to throw in an emotional spike to make sure they are invested in the conversation they are having with you. Once you do that right, you just rinse and repeat until they start chasing you. All right, that's pretty much everything for today. If you liked this video, well, tell me what you thought about it in the comments below. Leave a like, consider subscribing if you want to see more, and I will see you guys next time.